adding, quote, "You disgust me." Why not cancel him? Just asking.
Like, wreck his life, wreck his career, send him off into
So you're
nobody.
okay with racism in your party?
Hold on, man. Let me finish. That is not what I said, so don't even go there.
As much as you want to strip DEI and wokeism, CRT, it's not going to work.
Signals, again, we are saying that we are here to protect racists and white supremacists and the manosphere.
Welcome back to Rattlesnake TV, guys. The war is raging right now between MAGA and big balls and the Democrats and the mainstream media. We've also seen Trump strip Joe Biden of his security clearance whilst big balls keeps his intact. And if you guys aren't familiar with the story, a quick flashback.
Yes, so this is a 19-year-old high school graduate who has used the unfortunate nickname Big Balls online, so that would be one way that we could refer to him. He is now working at Musk's behest inside Doge, and we looked into his background, and so we found several notable things, Aaron, one of which is that this individual has founded multiple companies, including one with another unfortunate name, Tesla.Sexy LLC, which he established in 2021. He would have been around 16 years old. Now, this LLC controls dozens of web domains.
So today we're going to be reviewing a CNN panel, and guys, there is so many contradictions in what they're saying, and there's so much ideological garbage that it's almost impossible to listen to, but we're going to do it, and we're going to systematically destroy all of their points of view. So with that, let's get into the first clip.
This is who they've decided to defend. The user called for the repeal of the Civil Rights Act. He called for a eugenic immigration policy. He said the world should normalize Indian hate. Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna, who is Indian American and is here tonight, like Vance's wife, is also Indian American. He asked the vice president just a simple question on X. Are you going to tell him to apologize for saying, quote, normalize Indian hate before he is rehired into the government? Just asking for the sake of both of our kids. That apparently struck a nerve. Vance responded telling Khanna to grow up, adding, quote, racist trolls on the internet, while offensive, don't threaten my kids. But he says a culture that denies grace to people who make mistakes does. Vance went even further in another post, accusing Khanna of emotional blackmail of the Doge staffer, adding, quote, you disgust me. Well, the congressman is here, so I want to start with you because I, for one, was flabbergasted by that exchange. How did you take it?
I was surprised that he reacted in the way he did. Look, I praised Usha Vance actually just a week and a half ago. I said, as an Indian American, I'm proud of her ascent as a second lady. And I've known Usha, I've known the vice president. And all I was saying is you have someone who's 25 years old who has made deeply offensive comments about Indian Americans, who's talked about repealing the Civil Rights Act, who has talked about his disapproval of interracial marriage. You're going to rehire him. Is he going to apologize? Is he going to have any accountability? No one is saying cancel him. But you can't just rehire him and say, okay, everything is fine, and he's going to represent the United States government.
Why not cancel him? Just asking. Because we're living in an era where we're being told that if you talk about diversity, you should be canceled out of the government. But you can post racist posts as of a month and a half ago and welcome in.
Guys, this is a perfect encapsulation of why these idiots should not have any power. They don't care if this kid is the biggest brained engineer of all time. They care that everybody falls in line with their political views, and if they don't, then they have to come and issue a groveling apology to the woke mafia.
I'm really sorry if I offended, hurt, or disappointed anyone.
And if they don't, then they're never allowed to have a job again. It's not about merit, it's about ideology. And Trump and Vance are doing exactly the right thing by saying no. Shut up.
Shut your fucking mouth. Shut your fucking mouth.
Stop trying to emotionally blackmail people. You disgust me. I love that. You disgust me because these people are clinging on to the tyranny of yesterday. They're clinging on to the past.
Why not cancel him?
Where they would be able to, as phony journalists, go and dig up the tweets that someone made 10 years ago and have their entire career and life destroyed. Because that's the only environment that they can thrive in when the other side is muzzled by force. This is how these people operate because they cannot win in the arena of ideas. They're not very smart. So they must create smear campaigns and instill fear in people to the point where nobody wants to say the wrong thing or else they're fearing that they might get fired. And now Trump is shattering that campaign once and for all, and they are losing their minds, which is just delicious to see.
Big balls.
Now, before we get to the last bit, when talking about people hired within the government, they must be forgetting about some of Joe Biden's appointees. Now, ask me who I'm going to take out of big balls and no balls, and I'm taking big balls every day of the week. And then you think about the staffers that were filming gay sex for their OnlyFans in the White House, and you think about the mysterious white substances that were found. Where's the outrage, CNN? Anyways, let's move on.
Yeah, in a world where DEI and critical race theory and affirmative action are under attack, I feel like we're protecting white supremacists and racists and attacking black and brown people who want to be part of the fabric of the country. And I'm curious how the vice president would explain to his Indian children why he stood up for somebody who said normalize Indian hate. Like, what would he say? And that issue may not come up today.
He also called the guy a racist troll. He acknowledged that this person who he wants back in the government is racist.
They obviously fired him in the first place, right? Why did they fire him?
Well, and I think there's two things that I see happening here. The first one is that this is the signal to his voters that we are going to let these things slide, that you can't be canceled anymore. For all of us, however, the other vast majority of Americans, we're standing by the fact that we are going to hold people accountable to that. And with all due respect, Congressman, an apology would not suffice for me in this particular circumstance. This is a moral character bedrock of somebody's perspective of the world. I don't care what you got on your grades at Stanford. I don't care what coding competition you won. These are not the kinds of people who should be filtering the biggest decisions in the design of this
So what,
country.
he's banished off into the desert
No,
for eternity?
you're-
Like, wreck his
I'm not
life,
interested
wreck
in
his
your
career, send him off into
So you're
nobody.
okay with racism in your party?
Hold on, man. Let me finish. That is not what I said, so don't even go there. Absolutely not. I think it's abhorrent what he said. I frankly agree. If he's willing to acknowledge what he said was wrong and apologize for it, we are a compassionate people. Why can't we give
He didn't do that.
Well, we don't know that he's done that or not.
But he has
I'm just-
access to the World Wide Web. And you're welcome to apologize. We're very much looking forward to it.
I'm just saying.
And also, the congressman asked J.D. Vance, the vice president, should this person apologize? Vance didn't say, yes, he should. He said, God, I mean, he said all kinds of terrible things about the congressman for whatever reason.
He acknowledged that the comments were sophomoric and terrible and all the stuff
And
that he
racist.
said. And racist, yeah.
So this is not inappropriate.
He called the guy a racist troll, and now he's like, come back to the government.
Nope. Don't apologize, big balls. We are right behind you.
They may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
I just wish that I could be on a panel with these people. I would honestly give my left arm just for the opportunity to go on CNN, to be on one of these panels, and to just trigger the absolute life out of these people. I would troll them to high heaven, and how funny and awesome would that be? Just step into dreamland with me for one moment and imagine these people on their very serious panel with their glasses and with their fake indignation, and to come in totally deadpan and serious, claiming that not only does Big Balls not have to apologize for anything, but Big Balls is a hero. Big Balls is the voice of the people. Just imagine how triggered they would be, but a boy can only dream. Anyways, on a more serious note, let's talk about the ideological takes and the need to be issuing apologies. I wonder if any of these clowns believe that it's okay for kids to mutilate themselves or to go to drag shows. I wonder if they would defend the material being taught to them in the classroom. I wonder if they would have supported the BLM riots, reported Russia collusion lies, called Trump a fascist, etc. Because I find that personally offensive, and I would like them to issue me an apology. In fact, I would like everybody who's ever said something that I would find personally offensive to come and issue me an apology in order to remedy my emotional state before they're allowed to get a job in any sector anywhere. You see how ridiculous that argument is?
JD Vance would have been better served if they just disowned this in the beginning. Like, this is one of those easy things to do. It wouldn't have been much backlash against JD Vance and Donald Trump if Elon Musk just decided, okay, well, this guy's gone. I think this is more about Elon Musk's guy than anything else, because in most other situations, they'd have just said, okay, we're going to cut ties with you, which is exactly what they ended up doing. But I still think that this part of this connection to Elon Musk, where many people have Donald J. Trump as president, J.D. Vance as vice president, but then Elon Musk, as a Republican member of Congress, described him as Prime Minister Musk. I think putting Elon Musk on the same level of Donald J. Trump, where we excuse everything that he does, I think that that's just really problematic.
Vance is wrong in that the information that we are receiving, the slurs that we receive as black and brown people, as women online, is hurtful, right? This is not, it doesn't matter, woke culture is worse. That's not true. And this individual works in government. When I go to my government and ask them for something, for help, do I have to worry that the person on the other end of the email or phone is racist and actually hates me and has been online saying, we think you should be whatever, deported or whatever?
He should apologize.
I mean,
that's at a
but it's
minimum.
not just-
He should just have an
Absolutely. I'm not
apology.
arguing. I completely agree with that.
But again, like I do want to challenge us. This isn't an apology. Like I have a 5-year-old at home. He says he's sorry, and he does not mean it to his sister all of the time. It's just to get through the thing. I believe that the Trump administration was so eager for a moment like this to be like, see guys, don't worry, we're gonna save you. We're gonna make these things insignificant. We're gonna decurrency these kinds of statements and provide air cover. I agree with you. I think they chose the wrong one to die on the hill of. But we, as a society, as much as you want to strip DEI and wokeism and CRT, it's not going to work.
We're talking here, we're talking about two different things. If it's about DEI and qualifications for jobs versus giving somebody a second chance. That's what the difference here.
Those are not different things, okay? Because if we talk about qualifications for a job, and you're also telling me that you are willing to hire somebody who is a self-described racist, then how is that person qualified for a job serving the American people in the government?
Look,
what explains the vice
how's that a
president? Here's what I didn't understand. I mean, he was so emotional about this and such an outburst. I'm not saying that he's not condemning the racism. He did, but why can't he just say, yes, the person should apologize before being reconsidered? What is the hesitancy for him to say it? Is it political, that he doesn't want to offend a base? What is it that he can't say that?
Well, I came on here, I'd not seen your back and forth, I'll be honest with you.
Okay,
I can't speak. Look, I can't speak for the vice president, but I do know that he condemned the remarks from the outset.
But do you think he should, at the very least, say that before someone is hired, he should?
I'm not going to tell the vice president what he should or should not say.
So you're not.
I agree that I think the guy should at least acknowledge what he said was wrong.
And if he doesn't do that publicly, do you think he should be fired? The guy, if he doesn't acknowledge that.
Yes, I'm very clear. I think he needs to acknowledge that he should not be hired back.
And do you think it would be a big mistake in terms of the signal that Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are sending?
No, I'm not getting into the signals and stuff. I'm telling you what I think should happen.
You're like, signals. No. Again, we are saying that we are here to protect racists and white supremacists and the manosphere. That's what we're here to protect.
But what signal do you think it's...
So the counter arguments to this are pretty obvious, and I think that Scott Jennings would have done a better job here, or anybody who's quick at thinking or a decent debater. And here they are. Have you ever said anything unbecoming of a distinguished CNN contributor? And when can we expect your apology? Because if you don't issue that apology, then you really shouldn't have this job or any other job for that matter. And then you just watch them dig themselves a hole by telling you, actually, no, they're perfect and they exist on a higher moral plane. Next, they're claiming that DEI and critical race theory are under attack. What you need to do in that situation is just get some basic facts about DEI and critical race theory, particularly how white men are excluded from job opportunities and educational opportunities, and also how critical race theory paints white people as inherently oppressive, and then just simply throw the accusation back at them and say, how dare you champion this racism? This is disgusting and totally inappropriate for your distinguished line of work. So please apologize or face termination for your terrible racist worldview. But guys, seriously though, the moral of the story here is that the whole big balls saga represents something very profound.
Slaves you were, and slaves you remain. But the terrible penalty of crucifixion has been set aside on the single condition that you identify the body or the living person of the slave called
Big balls. I'm big balls. I am big balls. I am big balls. I am big balls. I'm big balls. I'm big balls. I'm big balls. I am big balls. I am big balls. I'm big balls. I'm big balls. I am 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 big balls. You see, the truth is, guys, in one way or another, we're all big balls. Because Big Balls is a story that transcends just one man being stood down and then standing back up in the face of leftist prosecution. Big Balls is the story of a man that represents the struggle of a generation. A generation that wants to be able to do something productive and meaningful by day, and then by night go home and shitpost on X about liberals, Indians, and women. And for this, we should not face political persecution and exile into the dark, cold abyss of social estrangement. And so, for that reason, Big Balls, you have my sword.
And you have my bow.
and my
Big balls.
So guys, that's it from me today. Don't forget to smash that like button on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you like it here and if you'd like to watch another video right here. Till next time, I'm Jake. This is Rattlesnake TV, keeping you armed and dangerous.